Hi everyone, my name is Lauren Zimmer, and today I'm going to be doing my 7-minute lesson on the respiratory system. This is for fifth grade science, and I'm going to start off by doing a PowerPoint presentation, and then I will have the students divide up into small groups to complete a worksheet, and then we will review what we have learned, and I will show you what the homework will look like for them. So I'm going to share my screen and we'll start with the PowerPoint presentation. So today we're going to learn about the processes and functions of the respiratory system. We're going to also be able to identify and name the anatomy of the respiratory system and connect the process of breathing to our everyday lives. So first, I would ask the students, what do they already know about the respiratory system? They do have some prior knowledge, such as that we breathe in oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide, and this will help them recognize that prior knowledge and get them ready to build on that knowledge in class. Then I will say that we will look more deeply into that process today and how it works in the body. So what is the respiratory system? It is the organ system in our body that is responsible for respiration or breathing. And inhalation is the process of taking in air or oxygen into the body. And exhalation is the process of the air leaving the body where it becomes carbon dioxide. The combination of both inhalation and exhalation makes up the process of breathing. So this is the process of breathing in order. So as we inhale, the air enters the nasal cavity and travels down to the pharynx. Then the epiglottis moves to make sure the air enters the larynx and not the esophagus. So for reference here, we have a diagram and the oxygen would enter the nasal cavity, down the larynx into the pharynx. And then the air travels down the trachea into the lungs, where the trachea splits into the primary bronchi, small bronchioles, and the alveoli, where the exchange of gases, oxygen and carbon dioxide, takes place. So right here, we can see the epiglottis is here. That moves out of the way so that the air doesn't go into the esophagus. And then the air makes it down to the trachea and into the bronchi. The bronchi is like, think of it as like a tree branch. It branches off into smaller and smaller branches. And at the end, where the alveoli is the smallest of the branch. And that's where the exchange of gas takes place from oxygen into carbon dioxide. So the oxygen from the air we breathe gets absorbed into the blood. And around the alveoli, the smallest part, there are little things called capillaries. And they bring the carbon dioxide from the body and exchange it with the oxygen from the lungs. The oxygen is then supplied to the rest of the body through blood. And then when we exhale, the body is getting rid of the carbon dioxide because it doesn't need it. And it is brought to the lungs and then exited out of the body. And then this is just the diagram to reference the picture of the process of the air going into the body. So the muscles of respiration. As you breathe in, your diaphragm contracts, otherwise known as flattening and moving down, so that your lungs have the room to breathe in the air. So if you think about it, when you take a deep breath in, your lungs are expanding as well as your rib cage. And the diaphragm is actually getting smaller so that the lungs have that room to expand. And in this picture right here, the diaphragm would be the red section, and that would get smaller as the lungs expand. So if you place your hands on your ribs as you breathe, you can feel, what do you feel as you inhale and exhale? You can feel your rib cage expand when you inhale and then contract as you exhale. So I would ask this question to the students. In what situations would the respiratory system have to work extra hard? And a great example of this is exercising, because it makes the breathing rate increase since the body has to supply oxygen faster to the body. And then I will show you the worksheet that I will have the students complete. So this is the worksheet, and I would just have them label the diagram. And then I would go over and review what we've learned. So ask them why the respiratory system is so important, what other body systems work with the respiratory system, what is inhalation and exhalation, and the function of the capillaries, as well as what does the diagram do when we inhale. So after we cover all of those review questions, I would ask them open-endedly to the class. Then I would assign the homework, which is right here. So the homework is just fill in the blank and short answer. And it goes over some vocabulary covered in the PowerPoint presentation. And then it asks why breathing is important, and then any questions they have about the respiratory system. That way they can write them down and we can go over them in the next class. So yeah, that's it. Thank you.